My beloved child, do not give up, for this journey is meant for the courageous, and I chose you for a special purpose. You are not here by chance. Your name has been written in my book since the very beginning, long before you were born. I have loved you from the start, waiting for the moment when you would recognize my guiding light. Together we will face every challenge, overcome every obstacle, and fight every battle. You are not alone. I am walking with you, step by step, toward the great things I have prepared for you. I know you have questions, especially during tough times. You may wonder where I was when you were hurting. Know this, I was always with you, and I can heal your pain. My love is so powerful that it has erased all your mistakes, and I want to help you let go of the sad memories that weigh you down. Dwelling on the past only brings back the hurt. Look ahead to where blessings await you, where dreams come true, and where your family will find joy again. Forget the old wounds. They are gone, and I have forgiven you completely. If some people cannot accept you or forgive you, it is time to surround yourself with those who see your true worth. You are not meant to remain in situations that bring you down. Protect your freedom and walk away from places or relationships that feel like a prison. Trust in my care, and you will see how deeply I value and love you. If you choose to stay where you are not respected, understand that nothing will change until you decide to step away. Do your part, for you are wise and capable. You do not deserve to remain in a cycle of pain and humiliation. You are my beloved, and I have paid the ultimate price for your freedom. Leave behind what holds you back and walk toward the land of blessings I have prepared for you, where provision springs from the ground and joy overflows. You are special to me more than you can comprehend. If you could see yourself as I see you, you would fall to your knees in gratitude and rise with renewed strength and determination to conquer the promised land before you. Break the bonds that restrain you, for I have given you courage and fortified your soul. You are already victorious in all things through my sacrifice and resurrection. My doors are always open to you. Come to me with a humble and thankful heart, and I will show you a love that only I can give. Sit with me, speak to me, and let your faith look in my direction. You are incredibly blessed, and all that I have is yours, just as I have promised. Ask and you shall receive. Trust in my love and my plan for you, and watch as your life transforms. I will nourish you with sweetness and provide the best for you. Do not lose heart or let discouragement take hold, for you have a vital purpose in this life. My love for you is deeper and more expansive than you can comprehend, but I invite you to trust in it. Feel its presence in your life and walk forward in faith, knowing that I do not deceive and I am always by your side. From the depths of my heart, I tell you, I love you profoundly and desire no more pain for you. I see the challenges you are facing, the moments when you feel your strength is slipping away. You strive to appear strong, to mask your pain, but I know you better than you know yourself. I see beyond the surface to your heart and spirit. Even if you are courageous, bring your worries to me. Share what burdens your soul, and I will catch every tear and lift you up. Stop doubting and hand over your worries. I will carry them for you. As my child, you are surrounded by blessings and wonders that will transform your life and profoundly touch your family. You will experience joy and contentment as my promises come alive within you. I will never leave your side. My angels watch over you and keep you safe. Each morning, reach out to me in prayer, and you will see how your days overflow with peace and my gentle love. When difficulties arise unexpectedly, come to me, and I will light your path, providing the wisdom and guidance you need to make the right decisions. I have always sought the best for you because you deserve it. As long as your heart remains loyal to me and filled with good intentions, ask and it shall be given to you according to my will. You are my beloved child, and I, the omnipotent God, stand faithfully with you. No one can harm or oppose you when I am by your side. With love, I guide your every step, opening new paths and blessing all you do in my name. You will witness abundance and success in your endeavors, for I hold your future in my hands. Your family will be blessed, and your efforts will bear great fruit. Misfortune will not touch your home, for my presence surrounds and protects you, warding off harm, illness, difficulties, and bitterness. My Holy Spirit shields your family under divine protection, Remember, even faith as small as a mustard seed can grow into greatness. Trust in my word, for it is powerful beyond measure. If you command mountains to move in my name, they will obey. Never doubt me, for I am the one true and faithful God. I will never abandon you. I will love you eternally. I know every part of you, your thoughts, feelings, and deeds, and I know that you are worthy of the boundless love I offer. I created you in my image and know you better than anyone else ever could. Release all hatred and the desire for revenge. Let my love transform and renew you. I am with you, my child, always. Trust in my promises and let go of your burdens. You are deeply cherished. Pray for those who have wronged you, so their hearts may turn to me. Leave their transformation in my hands and focus on my promises for you. I have been with you since the beginning, watching your growth and struggles. You are brave, and I am here to strengthen you. Trust in me, and I will heal your wounds and transform your life completely. Today is your moment. Lift your heart to me and embrace the joy and love I offer. Every trial you've faced is preparing you for something extraordinary, for you and your family. Keep praying and trusting. Peace and happiness will return to your home. Speak kindly and guide with love, letting me fill you with wisdom and strength. I will never leave you. I am watching over you, giving you the courage to face anything. You are already on your way to victory. Just a few steps more, and you will see the reward for your persistence and loyalty. I give you the strength to overcome every challenge, to walk boldly with confidence, knowing nothing can harm you under my protection. Have faith, my child. Your blessings are near, and every promise I have made will come to pass. Trust in me and move forward with courage. I care for you deeply and want you to know that no challenge in life is too great when I am with you. Do not fear difficulties or conflicts. Hold my hand and face them with courage. I am your healer, your provider, and your greatest supporter. I will strengthen your faith and guide your every step, ensuring you overcome every obstacle. My love for you is boundless and unwavering, even when you falter. Your journey is filled with opportunities and blessings waiting to unfold. Keep your faith strong and your heart open, for I am actively preparing you for a brighter future. Every challenge serves a purpose. Trust that I will turn each difficulty into a stepping stone toward joy and peace. I see the pain caused by rejection and envy, but don't let it consume you. Instead, adopt an attitude of victory. Trust in my promises and know that you are mine, deeply cherished and protected. When you feel weary or overwhelmed, come and rest in my presence. Here you will find the peace and strength you need to keep moving forward. Your future is bright, full of hope and purpose. Let go of negativity and focus on the blessings I am pouring into your life. You are on the verge of experiencing miracles and breakthroughs. Don't turn back now. You've come so far, and I am leading you to even greater things. Stay steadfast, my child, and trust in me. My spirit reigns in your life, bringing unity, joy, and abundance. Do not let fear or anxiety take hold of you. I am with you, guiding and protecting you every step of the way. Believe in my love and you will see my promises fulfilled. I am your strength and guide, pouring blessings into your life to extend to your family and all around you. Through you, healing and hope will flow. This is your moment. Walk with me daily, remembering the miracles you've already witnessed. Today, the storm ends and your path clears. Joy and peace are ahead, and I am with you, turning sadness into celebration and pain into victory. Big changes are coming, rewarding your faith and perseverance. I've heard your prayers and seen your gratitude, even in hard times. Your victory is near. Soon blessings will pour down, and your efforts will bear fruit. Remember, I am always with you, yesterday, today, and forever. You've overcome so much, and nothing can stop you when you walk with me. Trust in my promises, for your best days are just beginning. I am the one who holds your future, and I call you to step forward and claim the spiritual blessings I have for you. You are precious to me, a brave soul in my family, and I delight in watching over you. My angels guard you so you can live free from fear and sickness. Joy is on the horizon. Get ready to rejoice and give thanks for the wonderful things coming your way. All blessings come from me, so stay humble as I continue to pour them into your life. With my power within you, you will face every challenge with courage. Those who oppose you will retreat, for they cannot stand against the strength I give you. Lift your head high and let go of the past hurts and offenses. I've seen your faithfulness, and now is the time to revel in my goodness. I promise never to leave you. I am the creator of all things, and my word to you is eternal. I love you deeply, and this moment, as you hear me, is a divine exchange. Day or night, in peace or adversity, I am here, breathing my love into your life. My presence transforms your path of pain into one of prosperity. Do not let worry or fear take root again. I know your hardships and your heartaches, but I've kept you on your feet for a reason. You have life, a future, and a purpose because you are mine. Trust in my promises and let me guide you to peace and fulfillment. Take my hand now and rest in my love. Even in your darkest moments, I will rescue and lift you up. You will not be defeated or humiliated. Together, we will walk forward into the blessings I've prepared for you. You are cherished, you are loved, and I am always with you. I want your life to overflow with joy and love, so evident that everyone knows you are mine. Let me guide you from darkness into paths of peace and restoration. Trust in my promises. They are rooted in my love for you. Step away from those who harm or distract you. They cannot make you stumble while I stand by your side. Your past no longer defines you. I have forgiven you. Live freely without fear, for I am with you. Start each day with prayer, and I will renew your strength and restore your hope. My love knows no bounds. I will heal your wounds, break your chains, and turn your sorrow into joy. When challenges arise, call on me. I am your protector, your guide, and your unshakable strength. Stay vigilant and avoid the traps of deceit. My love and mercy are endless for those who seek me. I will fiercely protect you and ensure you walk in victory. Today I remind you, you are mine, cherished and loved. Trust in me, and I will transform your life beyond what you can imagine. You are never alone. I long for your freedom and healing. Come to me each morning, listen to my word, and entrust your life and your family into my hands. Do not believe the lies that your destiny is misery or that your past defines you. I have seen your repentant heart and your desire to grow. You are mine, and I will never leave your side. Distance yourself from those who tear you down and seek the company of those who uplift you. My love for you is vast and unchanging. I will strengthen your faith, renew your spirit, and guide you on paths of peace. Each day I will protect you, guard your steps, and remind you of my promises. Let my love fill you with joy, confidence, and purpose as you walk forward in faith. Leave behind the weight of your past. I have forgiven you and made you new. Your mistakes no longer bind you. They have been washed away. Live boldly, trusting in the abundant blessings I have prepared for you. Call on me in moments of doubt or fear, and I will strengthen your heart, restore your hope, and guide you towards solutions. You are precious to me. I am your healer, your protector, and your provider. Trust in my love and promises. Let go of despair and embrace the joy and purpose I have for you. I will transform your struggles into victories and your tears into celebration. Take my hand, my beloved child. Move forward with faith, for I am always with you, working in your life and preparing a future filled with blessings, hope, and peace. Trust in me, and you will see my glory unfold in ways you never imagined. I stand here with arms wide open, offering you forgiveness and restoration. Do not fear coming closer to me, for my love surpasses any mistake you have ever made. Today I invite you to lean on me once more, to trust in my guidance, and to let my love fill your heart. Make it your mission to seek me every morning and every night, and I will take care of all your worries. Your life will overflow with blessings, and you will witness the incredible ways my love and faithfulness will transform everything. I hear the cries of your soul and the ache in your heart. I know every challenge you face, every dream you hold dear, and the weight that burdens your shoulders. Even in your darkest moments, you have never been alone. I have been by your side, catching your tears, holding your pain, and surrounding you with my love. My love for you is forever and unconditional. It will never waver. Come to me, my cherished child. Open your heart and let me carry your burdens. In my arms, you will find the strength to stand, the peace to endure, and the hope to move forward. My words are your refuge, offering the answers and comfort you need. Trust in me, and you will see your sadness turn into joy and your pain into purpose. Do not dwell on your past or let guilt hold you back. I have forgiven you completely and have removed every burden that weighs you down. The future I have for you is bright and filled with promise. Take my hand and allow me to lead you into a new chapter, free from despair. Let my light illuminate your path and bring you to a place of joy, optimism, and unwavering hope. Today is a new beginning. I am freeing you from every trouble and sadness, lifting every weight that has pressed upon your heart. Forget what lies behind and look forward to the glorious plans I have prepared for you. Trust in my love, believe in my promises, and let my presence transform your life and your family. You are my beloved, and I am always with you, ready to lead you into the fullness of joy and peace. Do not let past mistakes or negative voices hold you back. You are not defined by your failures, but by the love and purpose I have for you. Today I remind you of my promises and the wonderful plans I've prepared for you. Trust in me and move forward, leaving behind the weight of doubt and fear. My love is a constant source of forgiveness and restoration, and it is here to renew your soul. Life may throw unexpected challenges your way, and I know you face some difficult times. But remember this, I am bigger than any problem you encounter. When you feel overwhelmed or hopeless, know that I am by your side, guiding you toward victory. Do not give up. You possess a strength greater than you realize, a courage I've placed within you to confront any obstacle. Trust in my plan, and you will see my power manifest in your life. Do not allow circumstances to define you. You were created to overcome and thrive. Stand tall, hold on to your dreams, and move forward with determination. Even when the path ahead seems dark, know that my light shines to guide you. I will never leave you, and my love for you will never falter. You are not alone. I've placed people in your life, family, friends, and loved ones, who are there to support and uplift you. Lean on them as you lean on me. Remember, you are capable, strong, and deeply cherished. The courage and strength I've given you are tools to overcome any challenge. Within you lies the wisdom to find solutions, the resilience to rise, and the faith to trust in my unwavering love. Move forward, my child. The future is bright and filled with the abundant blessings I have promised. Keep your eyes on me, and you will see how my love transforms every part of your life. You are never alone, for I am always with you, lifting you when you're down and encouraging you when you're unsure. Trust in me, and let's walk this path together toward a life of joy, purpose, and victory. You are mine, and I will never let you go. I am here to guide and support you through every challenge, because victory is your destiny. With me by your side, you can achieve your dreams and overcome any obstacle. Do not lose heart. Your future is filled with opportunities and blessings, waiting for you to embrace them. Trust in my strength, for it will lead you to a life of joy, purpose, and abundance. When life feels tough and the way forward is unclear, hold on to my hand. I am your constant guide and unwavering support. You are stronger than you think, and with my help, you can rise above every challenge. Each step of faith builds a path to the blessings I have prepared for you. Stay strong in your faith. Do not let fear or doubt stop you. The trials you face are not meant to defeat you, but to strengthen you. Trust my promises, for I am faithful and will never abandon you. I will lead you to peace and fulfillment beyond your imagination. You are my chosen one, created for greatness and joy. Walk forward with confidence, knowing my love surrounds you and my plans for you are good. Nothing can stop the blessings I have in store for you. Trust in me, and together we will walk this path to victory. I will never leave you. I am leading you toward a future filled with love, success, and happiness. Believe in my care and find peace knowing I am in charge of your life. Do not fear, for I am your protector, always by your side. Each morning as you wake, I am there, hoping you feel my presence and hear my voice guiding you. Begin your day with me. free from distractions, and let my words fill your heart with confidence. Hard times may come, but you will not face them alone. I am solving the problems that trouble you, even now, and preparing blessings to unfold in your life. Trust that I am planning your journey, crafting a beautiful story for you. Those blessings you've been asking for are already on their way. Stay strong and live with dignity, knowing that my view of you is all that matters. I see your true worth, a heart that is honest and pure. Leave behind the struggles of the past and step into this new chapter, one filled with victories and fresh beginnings. I am here to renew your life, guiding you with my wisdom and surrounding you with my love. Open your heart to me, and you will witness miracles as I provide answers to your questions and solutions to your challenges. You have turned to me in your time of need, and now I ask that you keep me first in your life. Love me with all your heart, soul, and mind, and watch how everything transforms. Forgiveness and restoration are coming. Those who hurt you will seek your pardon, and new doors will open to opportunities you never imagined. I will bring genuine, steadfast companions into your life, replacing loneliness with joy and isolation with peace. Trust in my words, for they carry divine power to change your circumstances. Ignore the judgments and jealousy of others, for you are held safely in my protective embrace. Each day, let my words be your guide, filling you with hope and strength. You are dearly loved, now and always. Move forward in the assurance that I, your heavenly Father, am always with you, holding you in my loving arms. Amen.
My name is Olivia Harper, and I'm 37 years old. Never in my life did I imagine I would be sharing a story like this. I'm not a preacher or a theologian, just a regular woman, a nurse, a mother, and a wife. But what happened to me on a crisp morning in September 2023 changed everything. It was the day I died and came back. That morning started like any other. The alarm clock went off far too early, and I shuffled through my usual routine, brushing my teeth, feeding the dog, and making sure my kids had their lunches packed. The sun was just beginning to rise, and the air was crisp with the early signs of fall. The trees in Greenville, South Carolina were already turning vibrant shades of gold and red. It was beautiful. Yet something felt off. I couldn't put my finger on it, but there was a strange heaviness in the air that morning. I had a mild headache and a lingering sense of unease, but I chalked it up to being tired from my shift at the hospital the night before. I'm a nurse at Greenville General, and shifts can be demanding. That day, I had an early start because of a new training session, and I didn't want to be late. So I got into my car, put on my favorite playlist, and started driving. As I made my way through the quiet streets, I noticed how beautiful the morning was. The way the sunlight danced through the trees and the gentle mist that lingered over the fields. It felt serene, almost otherworldly. But as I approached a sharp bend in the road, that serenity shattered in an instant. My car suddenly skidded on a slick patch of road, the wet pavement turning into a sheet of ice beneath my tires. I hit the brakes, but nothing happened. The car swerved violently, and I desperately tried to regain control. Ahead of me, a massive oak tree loomed larger and larger until everything went black. The next thing I knew, everything had changed. I wasn't in my car anymore. I wasn't even in the world I knew. I was floating, weightless, above the wreckage of my car. Below me, I could see myself slumped over the steering wheel. Blood trickled down my face, and my body was eerily still. It was strange to see myself like that, but I didn't feel pain or fear. Instead, I was enveloped by an overwhelming sense of peace. A peace so profound it felt as though I were being wrapped in the warmest, softest blanket of love imaginable. As I floated higher, a radiant light began to appear in the distance. It wasn't just bright. It was alive. It pulsed with warmth and love, calling me toward it like a magnet. And as I moved closer, I realized I wasn't alone. The peace I had, felt just moments earlier, admiring the beauty of the morning, shattered in an instant. The serene drive turned chaotic as my car began to slide on the slick road. At first, it was just a slight wobble, but within seconds the wheels lost their grip entirely. I could feel the tires spinning helplessly beneath me as the car veered out of control. My heart raced as panic surged through me. I instinctively pressed the brakes, but they didn't respond. The road felt more like ice than asphalt, and my hands gripped the steering wheel tightly, desperately trying to steady the car. Ahead of me, the sharp curve of the road loomed closer, and beyond it stood a massive oak tree, its dark trunk and sprawling branches unmoving, indifferent to my impending collision. My stomach churned as I realized I couldn't stop the car. Everything seemed to blur: the wet road, the golden leaves, the sunlight filtering through the trees, all merging into a chaotic swirl. And then, the crash came. A deafening explosion of sound erupted as my car smashed into the unyielding oak. Metal crumpled like paper, glass shattered into 1,000 sparkling shards, and the impact jolted my entire being. The force threw me forward, the seatbelt digging painfully into my chest. The airbag deployed with a violent hiss, cushioning the blow but adding to the confusion. The smell of burnt rubber and gasoline filled the air, choking and acrid. And then, silence. For what felt like an eternity, there was nothing. No sound, no movement, no pain. It was as though time itself had stopped. Slowly, I became aware of a strange detachment. The chaos of the crash seemed distant, like something happening in another world. I was no longer in my body. I was hovering above the wreckage, weightless and free, as if I had become a silent observer to my own tragedy. I looked down and saw the scene unfold beneath me. My car was barely recognizable, its front end crumpled like an accordion around the base of the tree. Steam rose from the hood, mingling with the morning mist, while shards of glass littered the ground like scattered diamonds. Inside the car, I could see my own body slumped against the airbag. My head tilted to the side, blood dripping from a gash on my forehead. My face was pale, lifeless. Strangely, I felt no fear at the sight of myself. Instead, a profound calm washed over me, unlike anything I had ever experienced. It wasn't numbness. It was peace, pure and overwhelming, as though I were being cradled in invisible arms of comfort. The pain, the panic, the confusion, all of it melted away, replaced by an undeniable sense that everything was okay, even though nothing about the scene below seemed okay at all. As I floated higher, I noticed movement around the wreckage. A few cars had pulled over and concerned strangers were rushing toward the crash. I saw a man in a flannel shirt sprinting toward my car, his arms waving frantically as he shouted something I couldn't hear. A woman wearing a bright pink jacket pulled out her phone, dialing for help, her expression etched with urgency. A younger man in a baseball cap knelt by the driver's side window, trying to pry open the crumpled door. Their voices reached me faintly, muffled and distant, as though I were hearing them from underwater. I wanted to tell them I was okay, that they didn't need to worry. But when I tried to speak, nothing happened. My voice, my body, they were no longer mine to control. Yet, the inability to communicate didn't trouble me. Instead, I felt a pull, a gentle tug upward, away from the chaotic scene. It was as though something or someone was calling me. Then, I saw it. A light appeared in the distance, soft at first, but growing brighter with every moment. It wasn't like the harsh glare of headlights or the sterile brightness of hospital lights. This light was warm, alive, and inviting. It seemed to pulse gently, as though it had a heartbeat of its own, and it radiated a love so profound that it brought tears to my eyes. I felt drawn to it, like a magnet pulling me closer. The wreckage below, the concerned strangers, my own broken body, all of it began to fade into the background as my focus shifted entirely to the light. The closer I came, the more I felt an overwhelming sense of love and peace, unlike anything I had ever known. It wasn't just an absence of fear, it was the presence of something so much greater, so much more powerful. The light seemed to envelop me, wrapping me in its warmth and pulling me closer with every passing second. And then, I realized I wasn't alone. Within the light, a figure began to take shape. At first, it was just an outline, but as I drew nearer, I could see him clearly. A man bathed in radiant light, his presence both comforting and awe-inspiring. He stood tall, his arms outstretched, and his eyes filled with kindness and love, met mine. I didn't need to ask who he was. I knew instantly, with every fiber of my being, that it was Jesus. The light grew brighter as I moved closer, but it wasn't harsh or blinding. Instead, it enveloped me in warmth and love, a love so profound that it brought tears to my eyes. The world I had known, the wreckage, the chaos, the pain, faded away, replaced by this radiant glow. Within the light, a figure began to emerge. At first, it was just an outline, but as I drew nearer, I saw him clearly. He stood tall, bathed in light that seemed to flow from him like a living force. His eyes were filled with kindness and understanding, and his smile radiated a peace that words cannot describe. I didn't need to ask who he was. I knew with every fiber of my being that it was Jesus. "Welcome, Olivia," he said, his voice both gentle and powerful, resonating deep within me. "You are here because there is something you must see, something you must understand." Tears streamed down my face, but they weren't tears of sadness. They were tears of joy, of relief, of knowing that I was fully seen and fully loved. "Lord," I whispered, though I wasn't speaking with my lips. It was as though my thoughts and feelings were directly understood. "Why am I here? What is my purpose?" Jesus smiled, and the warmth of his presence seemed to grow. He said, "The purpose of mankind is to know God, to love him, and to share his love with others. Each person is created with a unique plan, a purpose that only they can fulfill. Your life is part of that greater design." As he spoke, scenes from my life began to appear around us. It was as if the light itself transformed into a living tapestry, showing moments both joyful and painful. I saw times when I had helped others, small acts of kindness, comforting a patient, encouraging a friend. Those moments filled me with a deep sense of peace. But then I saw moments when I had been selfish or unkind, and a wave of regret washed over me. Jesus reached out and touched my shoulder. "Do not dwell on your mistakes, Olivia," he said. "What matters is that you learn from them and grow in love and faith. Every stumble is an opportunity to rise stronger, to draw closer to me." His words were like balm to my soul, soothing the guilt and filling me with hope. I felt an overwhelming desire to understand more, to ask the questions that had always lingered in my heart. "Lord," I asked, "why is there so much suffering in the world? If God loves us, why does he allow pain and hardship?" Jesus' expression grew tender, yet there was a trace of sorrow in his eyes. "Suffering exists because of sin in the world," he said. "It was not part of God's original plan, but through free will, humanity has brought brokenness into creation. Yet even in suffering, God's love remains. He uses trials to teach, to strengthen, and to bring people closer to him. What may seem like a loss is often the beginning of a greater purpose." I thought about the accident, about how fragile life is. "Is that why I'm here now?" I asked. "To learn something from this?" Jesus nodded. "Partly," he said, "but also to remind you how deeply you are loved and to give you a message to share. Your journey on earth is not finished, Olivia. There is still work for you to do." A part of me felt reluctant. This place, this presence was so perfect, so full of peace and love. I didn't want to leave. "But how can I go back?" I asked. "How can I live in a world so broken after experiencing this?" Jesus' gaze met mine, steady and filled with compassion. "You will not go back alone," he said. "I am always with you. My strength will sustain you, and my love will guide you. Remember, Olivia, Your purpose is not to fix the entire world, but to be a light within it. Love God with all your heart, love others as yourself, and trust in my plan. Even the smallest act of kindness can create ripples that reach far beyond what you can see. As he spoke, the light around us seemed to shift, revealing more scenes, not just from my life, but from the world. I saw people helping one another after disasters, families praying together, and individuals reaching out to strangers with compassion. But I also saw pain, wars, hunger, and cruelty. My heart ached at the sight. This is why your purpose is so important, Jesus said. The world needs more love, more kindness. Every act of love, no matter how small, makes a difference. It's like a pebble thrown into a pond. The ripples spread far and wide. I nodded, the weight of his words sinking in. I'll try, I said. I'll do my best. Jesus smiled again, his eyes shining with encouragement. That is all I ask, Olivia. Trust in me, and I will do the rest. As I stood in the radiant light, enveloped by a love so pure it brought tears to my eyes, Jesus continued to speak, his voice both powerful and tender. Olivia, he said, you are here because there is a message I need you to carry, a truth that the world desperately needs to hear. I felt an overwhelming mixture of emotions, gratitude for being in his presence, awe at his wisdom, and a deep desire to understand. Lord, I asked, what is this message? What is it that I need to share? Jesus looked at me, his gaze filled with both love and urgency. The world is in need of light, Olivia. So many have lost their way, distracted by the noise of the world, by fear, and by doubt. Your purpose is to remind them of my love, to show them that they are never alone. Each act of love, each word of encouragement has the power to bring them closer to me. He paused, and the light around us seemed to shift, forming images of people in their daily lives. I saw families gathered around dinner tables, children playing in parks, and workers going about their routines. But I also saw scenes of pain, people crying alone, others burdened by heavy loads they carried silently, and some walking through life with empty eyes. Do you see them, Olivia? Jesus asked, his voice soft yet commanding. These are my children, each one known and loved by me. But so many of them have forgotten. They carry burdens they were never meant to bear, trying to navigate life on their own. Your role is to be a reminder, a living testimony of my presence and my love. I nodded, tears streaming down my face. Lord, I want to help. I want to be that light, but I feel so small. What can I possibly do to make a difference? Jesus smiled, his expression one of deep reassurance. You are never too small when you walk with me. Remember the boy with the loaves and fishes? He offered what little he had, and through him, I fed thousands. Give me what you have, Olivia, and I will multiply it. Trust in me, and I will work through you. His words filled me with a profound sense of purpose, but they also brought questions that had long lingered in my heart. Lord, I asked hesitantly, why is there so much suffering in the world? If you love us, why do so many people hurt? For a moment, Jesus' expression grew somber, and there was a deep sadness in his eyes. Suffering was never part of my Father's plan, he said. It came into the world through sin and free will. But even in the midst of suffering, I am present. I use what is broken to create beauty. I bring strength through trials and hope through despair. What may seem like a loss in the moment often leads to a greater purpose, though it may not be visible until much later. I thought about the accident, about how fragile life is. Is that why I'm here now? I asked. To learn something from this pain? Jesus nodded gently. Partly, he said, but also to remind you of how deeply you are loved and to give you a message to share. Your journey on earth is not yet finished, Olivia. There is still much for you to do. Though I felt comforted by his words, a part of me hesitated. "But Lord," I said, "the world feels so broken. How can I return to it after experiencing this? How can I live in that darkness after being here, in your light?" Jesus' gaze met mine, steady and filled with compassion. "You will not return alone," he assured me. "I am always with you. My strength will sustain you, and my love will guide you." Remember, Olivia, your purpose is not to fix the entire world, but to be a light within it. Even the smallest act of kindness, the gentlest word of encouragement, can create ripples that reach far beyond what you can see. As he spoke, the light around us shifted again, forming scenes from my own life. I saw moments of kindness, comforting a patient in their final moments, encouraging a colleague who was struggling, and even simple acts like smiling at a stranger. But I also saw times when I had been impatient or unkind, and a wave of regret washed over me. Jesus placed his hand on my shoulder, and the warmth of his touch melted away my guilt. "Do not dwell on your mistakes," he said. "Every stumble is an opportunity to rise stronger. Learn from them, grow in love and faith, and trust that I am with you every step of the way." His words brought me a sense of peace I had never known before, but I still had questions. "Lord," I asked, "what about those who don't believe in you? What happens to them?" Jesus' expression grew solemn. "My Father loves all his children," he said. "He reaches out to them in countless ways, through nature, through others, through the quiet voice in their hearts. But love cannot be forced. Each person must choose whether to accept or reject it. Those who turn away from me choose separation, and that separation is what you know as hell. But never stop praying for them, Olivia. Your prayers are powerful, and your love can plant seeds that I will water." The light around us brightened as he continued. "When you return, Olivia, do not fear sharing what you have seen and heard. Some will listen and believe, while others may not. But your task is not to convince, it is to share, to love, and to trust that I will do the rest." I nodded, my heart filled with both awe and determination. "I will, Lord," I said. "I'll do my best." Jesus smiled, and his love surrounded me like a warm embrace. "That is all I ask, Olivia. Walk with me, trust in me, and know that you are never alone. You are my light in the world, and through you, others will find their way to me." His words resonated deeply within me, filling me with strength and hope. I knew that my journey wasn't over, but I also knew that I would never walk it alone. As I stood there in the presence of Jesus, more questions began to flood my mind. Questions I had wrestled with for years but never fully understood. "Lord," I asked hesitantly, "what about the people who don't believe in you? What happens to them?" Jesus' gaze softened, but I could see a deep sorrow in his eyes. "My Father loves all his children," he said. "He reaches out to them in countless ways, through the beauty of creation, the kindness of others, and the quiet voice within their hearts. But love cannot be forced. Each person must choose whether to accept or reject it. Those who reject my love choose separation, and that separation is what you know as hell." His words struck me deeply, filling me with both clarity and sorrow. "But Lord," I asked, "is there hope for those who have never heard of you? What about those who seek truth but don't know where to find it?" Jesus nodded, his expression full of compassion. "I am the way, the truth, and the life. Those who seek truth with an open heart will find me, even if they do not recognize my name at first. My Father's love is patient, and he works in ways beyond human understanding to reach every soul." This brought me comfort, but it also stirred a sense of responsibility. How can I help them, Lord? How can I show your love to those who feel lost or uncertain? Jesus smiled gently. "Live as an example of my love, Olivia. Be kind, patient, and forgiving. Do not judge others for their beliefs, but show them through your actions what it means to walk with me. Your life can be a light that draws others closer to the truth." I nodded, feeling the weight of his words settle in my heart. But more questions followed. "Lord, why do some people seem to have harder lives than others? Is it fair that some suffer so much while others seem to live with ease?" Jesus' expression grew thoughtful. "Life is not always fair by human standards, Olivia. Each person's journey is unique, with its own challenges and blessings. But remember this: I am with every person in their struggles. Sometimes, the hardest trials bring the greatest growth. They refine the soul, drawing people closer to me and teaching them compassion and strength." I thought about times in my own life when I had faced hardships, moments of loss, pain, and uncertainty. Those times had shaped me, teaching me resilience and a deeper reliance on God. "So, suffering can have a purpose?" I asked. Jesus nodded. "Yes, Olivia. Suffering is not something I desire for my children, but it can be used for good. It can deepen faith, foster empathy, and open hearts to my presence. Trust that no pain is ever wasted in my plan." Another question surfaced, one that had lingered in my heart for years. "Lord, what about our work? Is it part of our purpose too?" Jesus smiled warmly. "Yes, work is a gift from God. It is an opportunity to use the talents you have been given to serve others and glorify my Father. Whether you are teaching children, caring for the sick, or building a home, when you work with love and integrity, you honor me." I thought about my role as a nurse, and suddenly it felt so much bigger than just a job. "So even the small things matter?" I asked. Jesus nodded. "Everything done with love matters. A kind word, a helping hand, a moment of patience. These small acts create ripples that extend far beyond what you can see." The more we talked, the more my questions began to feel less like doubts and more like revelations. I realized that the answers I sought were not always simple, but they were rooted in love, faith, and trust. As I stood there, bathed in the light of his presence, I felt a new sense of clarity and purpose forming within me. "Thank you, Lord," I said, my voice trembling with emotion, "for answering my questions and for showing me the way." Jesus smiled, his eyes shining with encouragement. "Never stop asking, Olivia. Questions lead to growth, and growth leads to a deeper understanding of my love. Trust that I am with you always, guiding you toward the truth." As the light around us began to shift once again, I felt a gentle tug, as if something was pulling me back toward the world I had left behind. I looked at Jesus, my heart filled with both gratitude and reluctance. "Is it time for me to go?" I asked softly. Jesus nodded, his gaze tender and understanding. "Yes, Olivia. Your journey on earth is not yet finished. There is still much for you to do. Remember all that you have seen and heard, and share it with those who will listen. Not everyone will believe, but that is not your burden to carry. Your task is to speak the truth with love and to let your life reflect my light." Tears welled in my eyes as I realized I would have to leave this perfect peace, this overwhelming love. "Lord," I said, "I'm afraid. What if I'm not strong enough? What if I forget all of this when I go back?" Jesus reached out and placed his hand on my shoulder, and instantly, a wave of strength and reassurance washed over me. "You will not walk this path alone," he said. "I am with you always. When you feel weak, lean on me. My strength is made perfect in your weakness. Trust in my guidance, and I will provide all that you need." He paused for a moment, his expression both loving and firm. "Remember, Olivia, the smallest acts of love can change the world. Be a light in the darkness, a beacon of hope for those who feel lost. And know that my love for you is unchanging no matter what challenges you face." The light around us grew brighter, and I felt myself beginning to drift away. "Thank you, Lord," I whispered, my voice filled with emotion. "I'll do my best." Jesus smiled, his eyes shining with encouragement. That is all I ask. Go now, Olivia, and live out your purpose. Share my love with the world and trust that I am always with you. And with that, the radiant light began to fade, and I found myself being pulled back into the world I had known. The next thing I knew, I was waking up in a hospital bed, surrounded by the worried faces of my family. My journey had only just begun. As the light around us began to shift once again, I felt a gentle tug, as if something was pulling me back toward the world I had left behind. I looked at Jesus, my heart filled with both gratitude and reluctance. "Is it time for me to go?" I asked softly. Jesus nodded, his gaze tender and understanding. "Yes, Olivia. Your journey on earth is not yet finished. There is still much for you to do. Remember all that you have seen and heard, and share it with those who will listen. Not everyone will believe, but that is not your burden to carry. Your task is to speak the truth with love and to let your life reflect my light." Tears welled in my eyes as I realized I would have to leave this perfect peace, this overwhelming love. "Lord," I said, "I'm afraid. What if I'm not strong enough? What if I forget all of this when I go back?" Jesus reached out and placed his hand on my shoulder, and instantly, a wave of strength and reassurance washed over me. "You will not walk this path alone," he said. "I am with you always. When you feel weak, lean on me. My strength is made perfect in your weakness. Trust in my guidance, and I will provide all that you need." He paused for a moment, his expression both loving and firm. "Remember, Olivia, the smallest acts of love can change the world. Be a light in the darkness, a beacon of hope for those who feel lost. And know that my love for you is unchanging, no matter what challenges you face." The light around us grew brighter, and I felt myself beginning to drift away. "Thank you, Lord," I whispered, my voice filled with emotion. "I'll do my best." Jesus smiled, his eyes shining with encouragement. "That is all I ask. Go now, Olivia, and live out your purpose. Share my love with the world, and trust that I am always with you." And with that, the radiant light began to fade, and I found myself being pulled back into the world I had known. The next thing I knew, I was waking up in a hospital bed, surrounded by the worried faces of my family. My journey had only just begun. When I opened my eyes, the sterile white walls of the hospital room slowly came into focus. The rhythmic beeping of machines was the first sound I heard, grounding me in the reality that I was alive. My husband's tearful face hovered over mine, and his trembling hand held mine tightly as he whispered, "Olivia, you're back. We thought we lost you." I managed a faint smile, though my body still felt heavy and weak. "I'm here," I said, my voice hoarse. "There's so much I need to tell you." In the days that followed, I began to share my story with my husband and close family members. At first, I struggled to find the words to describe what I had experienced: the light, the overwhelming love, and the presence of Jesus. It felt impossible to put such a profound encounter into human language, yet, as I spoke, I could see the impact it had on them. My husband listened intently, tears streaming down his face while my children held onto me as though they feared I might leave again. Returning home was a surreal experience. Everything felt different, as though I was seeing the world through new eyes. The sunlight streaming through the windows seemed brighter, the laughter of my children more precious, and even the small tasks of daily life felt infused with purpose. Every moment felt like a gift, and I was determined not to waste it. I quickly realized that the message Jesus had given me wasn't just for me. It was meant to be shared. I began journaling every detail of my experience, afraid that I might forget even the smallest moment. Writing became a way to process what had happened and to reflect on the profound truths I had learned. I prayed for guidance, asking God to show me how to use my story to help others. At work, as I sit here reflecting on everything that has happened, I realize that my journey is far from over. The experience I had was not just for my sake, but for everyone who might hear this story and feel the stirring of truth in their hearts. I am sharing this because I know there are many who are searching for meaning, for purpose, for hope. If you are reading this, I want you to know that you are deeply loved. Your life has a purpose that is unique to you, and even in the hardest moments, you are never alone. God's love is not something that can be earned or lost. It is freely given, waiting for you to receive it. I urge you to take a moment today to reflect on your own life. Are you living out your purpose? Are you showing kindness and love to those around you? Are you seeking a deeper connection with the one who created you? It's never too late to start. Begin with small steps. A kind word, a moment of prayer, an act of forgiveness. Each small act of love ripples outward, touching more lives than you can imagine. If you are unsure of where to begin, start by seeking God with an open heart. Spend time in prayer, asking Him to guide you. Open His word and let it speak to you. Surround yourself with others who can encourage and support you on this journey of faith. And most importantly, trust that no matter where you are or what you've been through, His love for you is unchanging. The world needs more light, more hope, and more love. You have the power to be that light. You have the ability to make a difference, no matter how small it may seem. As Jesus told me, the smallest acts of love can change the world. I will continue to share my story, not because I have all the answers, but because I want to encourage others to seek the one who does. If my journey can inspire even one person to take a step closer to God, then every moment of this experience will have been worth it. Remember, you are loved, you are seen, you are not alone. Walk in faith and know that God is always with you. Let's make this world a brighter place, together.
My name is Evan Hayes. I'm 32 years old and live in Portland, Oregon, where I've spent most of my life pursuing my passion for music. For as long as I can remember, music has been my escape, my identity, my purpose, or so I thought. I played guitar in local cafes, wrote songs that resonated with the crowd, and built a life that felt vibrant and free. I shared a home with Ryan, my partner of 5 years, and together we crafted a world of creativity and companionship. To outsiders, my life seemed perfect, a blend of love, art, and independence. But if I'm honest, there was always a quiet unease, a faint voice whispering that something was missing. I grew up in a Catholic household, went to church every Sunday, and even sang in the choir as a kid. But as I got older, I drifted away. I convinced myself I didn't need religion or a relationship with God. Life was good as it was. I was confident that if God existed, He would accept me just as I was, without question. Then came the fall morning in October 2023, a day that started out as ordinary as any other. The leaves along the highway were a brilliant mix of red, orange, and gold, and the crisp air carried the smell of rain from the night before. I was driving to a gig at a small venue downtown, sipping my usual caramel latte and humming a melody for a new song. Ryan had just called to finalize plans for our upcoming trip to the mountains, and I felt light, content, and ready for the day ahead. Little did I know that within minutes, my life would change forever. Everything I thought I understood about love, purpose, and eternity would be turned upside down in the blink of an eye. The drive that morning felt peaceful, almost serene. The golden leaves along the highway shimmered in the soft sunlight, and my mind wandered to the set list for the evening gig. I was lost in thought when, out of nowhere, it happened. A distracted driver in a large pickup truck veered sharply into my lane. My instincts kicked in, and I swerved hard to avoid a collision. But the wet road betrayed me. My car spun out of control, skidding across the pavement before plunging down a steep embankment. The sound of metal crunching against trees and glass shattering around me was deafening. Time seemed to slow down as my car flipped, the world spinning violently. I remember my coffee cup flying through the air, its contents splashing across the dashboard. And then, silence. When the car finally came to a stop, crumpled and lifeless at the base of a tree, I felt myself slipping into darkness. The weight of my body pressed against the seat, and everything faded. Later, I would learn that a passing motorist saw my car's taillights through the trees and called 911. The rescue team arrived quickly, but the terrain made their efforts painstakingly slow. It took them over an hour to cut me free from the mangled wreckage. By then, I had lost a significant amount of blood. My injuries were severe: broken ribs, a punctured lung, internal bleeding, and a head injury that left me unresponsive. The paramedics worked tirelessly as they airlifted me to the hospital, but somewhere along the way, my heart stopped. For nearly 4 minutes, I was clinically dead. What I experienced during those moments, as my body lay motionless, would completely redefine everything I thought I knew about life, death, and what lies beyond. In the chaos of the accident and the frantic efforts to save me, I felt something strange. One moment, there was darkness, the heavy, oppressive kind, and the next, I was floating. I opened my eyes, not in my broken body, but above it. I could see the paramedics working on me, their faces tense with urgency as they shouted instructions. One of them, a young woman, murmured a quiet prayer under her breath as she adjusted a mask over my face. I wanted to tell her I was okay, but I couldn't. My voice, my body, it was all out of reach. The scene below felt distant, like I was watching a movie of someone else's life. Then everything began to shift. A soft, warm glow appeared in the distance, growing brighter with each passing moment. It wasn't like the harsh light of the sun. It was alive, welcoming, and filled with a peace I couldn't describe. I felt pulled toward it, weightless and unafraid, as though something deep inside me recognized it. The sounds of the paramedics faded into the background, replaced by a gentle hum that seemed to resonate within me. I moved toward the light, drawn as if by an invisible force. The world I knew, the crash site, the pain, the fear, slipped away entirely. What lay ahead was something I could never have imagined. The light grew brighter as I approached, surrounding me with a warmth that felt like love itself. I found myself in a meadow unlike anything I had ever seen. The grass shimmered like emeralds. The flowers bloomed in impossible colors, and the air carried a fragrance that soothed my soul. There was no fear, no anxiety, only a profound sense of peace. Then I saw him. A figure in radiant white appeared, walking toward me. His presence was undeniable. His face, though familiar from pictures and stories, carried an authority and kindness that transcended anything I could comprehend. I didn't need an introduction. I knew this was Jesus. "Welcome, Evan," he said, his voice both powerful and tender, resonating deep within me. "I've been waiting for you." I couldn't hold back the tears. I fell to my knees, overwhelmed by the purity of his presence. He reached out and lifted me up, and the touch of his hand felt like the embrace of a lifetime's worth of love. "Why am I here?" I asked, my voice trembling. "You've come to see the truth," he replied, "to understand your purpose and the choices you must make." As we walked through the meadow, scenes from my life unfolded before me, playing out like a living tapestry. I saw moments of joy and creativity, times when I used my gifts to bring happiness to others. But I also saw my mistakes, the selfishness, the missed opportunities to help, the moments I let my pride guide me. Each memory carried a weight, a consequence I hadn't fully realized until now. Jesus' eyes were filled with compassion. "You are loved, Evan," he said. "But love doesn't mean ignoring the truth. It means helping you grow into who you were meant to be." As we continued walking, Jesus showed me two possible futures. In one, I remained on the path I had been living, focused on myself, my desires, and what felt good in the moment. That path led to separation from God, to a place where the love and peace I was feeling now no longer existed. In the other, I saw a life of purpose. I saw myself using my gifts, not for fleeting satisfaction, but to uplift others and glorify God. I saw how my music could inspire hope and lead people closer to Him. The contrast between the two paths was undeniable. Jesus then revealed something even more profound. "Your choices don't just affect you, Evan," he said. "They ripple out to others, your friends, your family, even those you've never met. What you do matters more than you realize." I began to feel the weight of my responsibility. Every decision, every action carried eternal significance. But how can I change, I asked. What if I'm not strong enough? Jesus smiled, his eyes full of reassurance. You don't have to do it alone. My strength is made perfect in your weakness. Trust me, and I will guide you. As Jesus spoke to me, his words resonated deeper than any sound I had ever heard. It wasn't just his voice. It was as though his love and truth were wrapping themselves around my soul, filling every corner of my being. He looked at me with eyes that seemed to see not just my present, but my entire existence. My past, my future, and everything in between. Evan, he said gently, your life is a gift, and it was given to you for a reason. You've been given talents, relationships, and opportunities, not for your own satisfaction, but to reflect God's love to the world. But you've lost sight of that. I felt tears stream down my face. I didn't know, I said, my voice trembling. I thought I was living the best life I could. I didn't realize I was missing something. Jesus' expression softened. Many don't realize it. The world teaches you to chase happiness and success, but true joy and fulfillment come from walking in the purpose for which you were created. You've been given another chance to do that. He paused, then continued. Your story, your gifts, your struggles, they can all be used to bring hope to others. There are people who are lost, searching for meaning, and you can help them find the truth. But you must be willing to walk a different path. I hesitated. What if I fail? What if I'm not strong enough? His hand rested on my shoulder, and a wave of strength filled me. You don't have to be strong on your own. My strength will carry you when you feel weak. All I ask is that you trust me and take the first step. Then he showed me glimpses of what my life could be, using my music to inspire hope, sharing my story with those who were searching, and living in a way that reflected his love. The vision was beautiful, but it wasn't without challenges. I saw moments of rejection, of people misunderstanding my journey, and of having to let go of things I held dear. You will face trials, Jesus said, but remember, I am always with you, and every act of love, no matter how small, has the power to change lives. I took a deep breath, feeling both scared and determined. I'll do it, I said. I'll go back. I'll share what you've shown me. Jesus smiled, his warmth filling me once again. Go with my blessing, Evan. Speak the truth with love, and trust that I will guide you every step of the way. The world around me began to shift. The light of the meadow dimmed, and I felt myself being pulled backward. It wasn't painful, but it was bittersweet. I didn't want to leave the peace and beauty of that place, yet I knew I had a mission waiting for me. The hum of the machines was the first thing I heard as I opened my eyes. The sterile smell of antiseptic and the sharp beeping of monitors reminded me where I was. My body felt heavy, weighed down by pain and exhaustion, but I was alive. I looked around and saw my mom's face, tear-streaked and full of relief as she realized I was awake. "Evan," she cried, grabbing my hand. "You're back! We thought we lost you." I smiled weakly, my throat dry and my voice barely a whisper. "I'm here," I said. "It's okay, Mom." The doctors rushed in, astonished at my recovery. "It's a miracle," one of them said. "We didn't think he'd make it." As I lay in that hospital bed, the memories of what I had experienced flooded back with crystal clarity. The light, the meadow, and Jesus' words echoed in my mind. I knew that my life could never go back to what it was before. I had been given a second chance, and I couldn't waste it. Leaving the hospital was like stepping into a new world. Everything felt different. The sunlight was brighter, the air fresher, and every moment more precious. But as the days went on, I began to realize just how much my life had changed. I started journaling every detail of my experience, afraid that I might forget even the smallest moment. Writing became a way to process what had happened and to reflect on the mission Jesus had given me. I shared my story with my mom first, then my family, and eventually Ryan. Their reactions were mixed. Some were awestruck, while others struggled to understand. Ryan was the hardest to face. I told him everything about the meadow, Jesus, and the truths I had been shown. He listened quietly, but I could see the confusion and hurt in his eyes. "Evan, this doesn't sound like you," he said. "Are you sure it wasn't just a dream?" "It wasn't a dream," I said firmly. "It was real. I can't explain it, but I know it happened. and I know I have to change. The conversation was painful, and over time, we both realized that our paths were diverging. Letting go of our relationship was one of the hardest decisions I've ever made, but I knew it was necessary to live in alignment with the truth I had discovered. As I grew stronger, I felt an urgency to share my story. I began attending a local church where I found a supportive community that encouraged me to speak about my experience. At first, I was nervous. Would people believe me? Would they judge me? But I remembered Jesus' words. Your job isn't to convince everyone, but to share the truth with love. I started small, sharing my testimony during prayer meetings and writing blog posts about my journey. Slowly, my story spread. People from all walks of life began reaching out, some curious, others deeply moved. I received messages from individuals struggling with their own identity, faith, or purpose, thanking me for giving them hope. I also faced criticism. Former friends distanced themselves, accusing me of abandoning who I was. Online, some called me a hypocrite or worse. The backlash was painful, but I held on to the vision Jesus had shown me. For every voice of doubt, there was someone whose life was touched by my story. 2 years have passed since the accident, and not a day goes by that I don't think about what happened. The memory of the meadow, the river of life, and Jesus' loving presence is as vivid as ever. Whenever I feel weak or discouraged, I recall his words, I am always with you. They give me strength to keep going. My life isn't perfect, and the road hasn't been easy. There are still moments of doubt, fear, and struggle. But I've learned that faith isn't about having all the answers. It's about trusting in God's love and walking with him, one step at a time. Through music, writing, and public speaking, I've dedicated my life to helping others find the hope and truth I experienced. I've seen lives transformed, not by my words, but by the message of God's love. It's a humbling reminder that even the smallest act of obedience can ripple out to create lasting change. If there's one thing I've learned, it's this. Life is a gift, and every moment is an opportunity to reflect God's light. You don't have to have a dramatic experience to start living with purpose. Love God, love others, be kind, forgive. These simple acts can change the world, one person at a time. As I look to the future, I don't know what lies ahead, but I know who walks with me, and that's enough.